It is now 2024 and everybody is asking themselves the same question. What is going on? The world has become a very weird place. It's almost like something is off. It's almost like we have entered another dimension. Nothing feels quite right. Everything feels weird. Because it's supposed to feel this way. And the reason for it is because we are going through a spiritual warfare. That's it. Like, that's the easiest way to describe it. So, we are essentially nearing the end of times, and this is our final battle as a humanity. Do we fall into sin and let the humanity go to a very dark place? Or do we defend ourselves against the sin and the corruption and the lust and all the vices that are being promoted nowadays and say the Christ pill, so to speak? So essentially, this it's too late for us to sit around and wonder what should we do next. It's very obvious you need to take the Christ pill. And I know that this is like very out of the blue, but I just cannot see another solution, because think about it. We live in a world where all the things that are being promoted are anti-Christ, anti-Christianity, anti-God. Why is Hollywood full of creators, celebrities who essentially worship the opposite of God? Like, for example, the Doja Cat. You know, you've seen her performance. Like, it says everything. And Lil Nas, he was essentially mocking Christianity in his videos, in his TikTok videos. Why does it seem like everything that is against the teachings of the Bible is being promoted nowadays? Because that's the purpose, you know. They want you to follow this path. And why do they want you to follow this path? Why do the people in power, those who have designed the world, want you to do things that are bad for you? Because we all know that eating junk food, sleeping around, and so on, at the end of the day, in the long term, it doesn't benefit you. So why is it being so promoted nowadays? Why are there so many news articles that talk about how you should cheat on your partner, for example, like, oh, actually cheating is fine, that kind of stuff? I mean, they're giving you bad advice that's going to essentially ruin your marriage or your relationship. Why do they do this? Because they want you to follow this demonic path based on sin. That's it. And you need to stand still, and you cannot let this happen. You cannot let this influence you. You need to say the Christ pill. The more they talk bad about Christ and God and Christianity and virtuous life, the more you need to follow that path. This is your sign to go in the opposite direction, do the opposite of what's being promoted. What is being promoted nowadays? Greed, gluttony, lust, pride. Pride is being very much promoted nowadays. There's so much talk about how you should be proud of yourself. For what? What have you actually done to be proud of ourselves? Not much. That is the truth. And these are the things that are being promoted, and coincidentally, there are also sins according to the Bible and according to God. Interesting, right? It's almost like someone wants you to end up in hell. And you could say like, oh, this it's not that deep, like let me have some fun. Actually, it is that deep. You know? The issue is that we are saying it's not that deep. Like, if we didn't have this attitude that it's not that deep, it's not that serious, you wouldn't end up in this place. It wouldn't end like this if we took it a bit more seriously. Spiritual warfare is very real, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. You can see it everywhere. The choice is yours, you know, but now you cannot pretend like you haven't been warned. Are you going to keep sinning, keep going this demonic path, and that inevitably ends in hell? And even if you don't believe in God, even if you don't believe in hell and heaven, okay, fine. But it's going to be hell on earth for you to keep living this way. I mean it. Because too much pleasure always leads to pain anyway. If you get too drunk, you end up vomiting, and you end up with a hangover that is very painful. Interesting, right? It's almost like if you go too much in one direction, you end up on the other side. Same with greed. You become too wealthy, you start being stressed about losing the mind that you have. you cannot sleep at night because someone might steal from you. Same with pride. You get too prideful, you will never admit that you have made a mistake, you will never listen to another person, and this is going to lead to your downfall. So essentially, like, even if you don't believe in God or Christianity or heaven or hell, fine. But you need to understand all those fun activities that are being promoted nowadays, they are going to lead you to pain. And I know this sounds very serious and, like, not, I sound like a Debbie Downer, but the reason I'm talking about this is because nobody else will. Like, everybody is going to encourage you to enjoy your life. I'm just telling you, if you keep enjoying your life too much, at the end of the day, there won't be any enjoyment left. It will lead you to pain. And I know this from my first-hand experience. It isn't something that I just came up with suddenly. I was having fun a lot. I was having so much fun in my life. I've had all those different experiences. I've traveled the world. I went to parties. You know, I got drunk. Like, I did all the stuff that is being promoted nowadays, or like the majority of it. It led me nowhere. I'm depressed now. I'm I regret most of the parties that I went to because they didn't actually make me feel better, but they made me less healthy. They made me. I drank alcohol. It wasn't good for me, and it didn't actually make me happy. It made me happy only for like an hour or two or three, but the next day I was feeling bad because this isn't the right way to live. And I'm not saying you should never have any fun, but you need to be aware that there is a limit to pleasure. And you need to be able to recognize that limit. You need to be able to stop when you see you're going too much in the other direction, where it starts resembling pain, even though it was supposed to be fun and pleasure in the first place. This is my first video, so if you like this, leave a thumbs up, comment what you think about this, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.